Hello YouTube, it's Burninator 881 again with another Halo Mega Bloks review. Sorry it's been a while since I've made one of these, but yeah, Christmas and I was out of town and all kinds of stuff, and also I haven't been able to find these sets, but fortunately I found this one over the weekend. It is the Brute Prowler, Covenant Brute Prowler, set number 96869. It's 173 pieces. And here's the front of the box. As you can see, there's a Prowler, a blue Brute, actually two blue Brutes, and a new Orange Spartan with a battle rifle and a little piece of scenery there with a barrel. You can see that it's molded in sort of the same color as the Scorpion, sort of a desert camouflage maybe. It's brown or tan colored. Flipping over the box to the back, we see pretty much the typical back of the box stuff. Shows everything. It shows you the Orange Spartan with his battle rifle, which is a new weapon. The two blue Brutes, and one comes with a spiker and one comes with the Brute shot. One other thing that I wanted to mention from the box is down here, one of these previews of the new sets. It's called the Battlescape, and it's going to be number 96837. And basically it's about, I've seen someone from Mega Bloks post the information for this. It's about 2 feet by 1 foot, maybe a little bit like an inch plus or minus, big terrain piece, and then it also comes with, and you can probably have trouble seeing it. Okay, first off, there's an orange, I believe it's going to be a CQB Spartan, an orange one on a mongoose, and the mongoose is going to be gray. Then a grunt there and a grunt there, both of them are orange with, they're going to come with plasma grenades, which is kind of cool, we haven't seen that yet. And then also an active camo Brute, which I think he's got a spiker. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's supposed to be coming out maybe March, April, May timeframe. So I'm really looking forward to that. You can put them together. You can get a bunch of these sets and sort of attach them together on the edges and make really big landscapes. So yeah, that covers the box and pretty much everything I wanted to show from it. Now moving on. First off, before I get to the actual Brute Prowler, I wanted to show sort of my clown car of Spartans. This is, the troop transport Warthog with every color of Spartan in it. So I got the red, the green, yellow, steel, cyan, purple, teal, orange, arctic, and blue. So that's every color. Oops, you weren't able to see all those. Yeah, do that again. Red, green, yellow, steel, cyan, purple, teal, orange, arctic, and blue. So it's kind of cool. They actually do all fit in there. Some of them a bit haphazard. You can't really see very well. But I wanted to show you that before I took the Orange Spartan out because he's a part of this set. So I'll show you him. I'll see if I can get another video of him a little later. Where I have my camera in macro mode so you can really see him close up. You can see he does have the battle rifle. It's the first time that's been included in any set. It's pretty much the same as the Orange Hayabusa. Very cool. Hope to get a couple more of these and have a complete orange team. Yeah. There's also been rumors and a photo from Europe of a new Battle Unit 2, which is a Toys R Us exclusive. Apparently, that's going to have another a blue Spartan, a blue Flame Marine, an Orange Spartan, and an Orange Marine, as well as some Covenant figures. So hoping that makes it to the States, and we'll see that again, hopefully sometime in the spring. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Orange Spartan, although I guess I'll cover also this sort of terrain piece that he comes with. Instead of a turret or something like they would have done in previous sets, they include this piece of terrain. So it's got sort of this rail here and two sort of sand or desert colored angled blocks there. Some black bases, and a barrel, which we haven't seen before. It's got an open top, and yeah. And then also this sort of girder piece, which looks like maybe the ruin of some building or, you know, part of something. So anyway, you can pose him on there and, you know, have him fighting the brutes somehow. Let's see if I can get him bent. And there. This thing doesn't stay together very well. I actually, before I made the video, I had to change this back because I had modded it a bit to make it stronger with some of the extra pieces. Anyway, there he is, and that's pretty much it for the Spartan that comes with this set. Now we'll look at the Brute Prowler itself. And this is a pretty cool, it's supposed to be sort of the Brute's answer to the Warthog. So you can have, you know, it's got one in a turret here. It's the same plasma turret that we've seen before, except it's actually molded in black instead of gray like the previous ones that we've seen. And Brute there, Brute in the back doing the driving. And then there's a lot of spaces on these sort of sleds or whatever you want to call them. It's the same on both sides. Or you could have more sort of hitching a ride like they might on the you know, on the Scorpion or whatnot. So yeah, you could probably fit, I don't know, 4 more brutes on here or other forces pretty easily, and have them all hitching a ride. So that's sort of the overview of it, and I'll move on to the figures first, and then get a little bit more in detail into the Prowler. Taking him off, and that's really the best way to do it. If you can see, well, again, I'll get into that detail in a second. It's a new color of Brute. He's blue, and both of them are. They come with this set. It's a nice dark navy blue, sort of similar to the blue elites that we've seen. That looks kind of ridiculous, so I'll grab it and put it like that. There's no way, unfortunately, of course, when he's in the turret for him to really hold his weapon, just as we've seen with most of these other sets. So I put it on his back, even though it looks a little weird. So yeah, so there's that one, and the Brute shot, which does come with this. Now moving on to the other one, it's best really when you're doing these, and again I'll show you in a second, to pull that, go ahead and pull that whole chair out. This one's the same blue guy, blue Brute. He comes with a Brute spiker. So yeah, I'm really glad that we have a new color of Brute, and hope we see them more often. Okay, now getting a bit more in detail on the Prowler itself. First off, the driver's seat. It's attached with a post like that and a hole in this one. So really, to get him in there, and you can see the 2 handles that he grabs onto right there to drive or whatever. Really, that's the best way. And in the seat itself, you can see it has that post right there, which goes into his back, like so, to hold him in place. So that's sort of the best way to put him in and out of a seat, I think, is to take the whole seat off and then just clip it back in. And then looking at this turret, it's got this swivel piece, which I'll show you more of in a second, that spins around completely with the Brute inside of it. You know, the whole thing spins. Then it's got a little post that's sticking up right there, and then one of these things to sort of make it go out a bit, and then another post into the turret itself. So that's what they have to do to get it to where you can grab onto it without being all wacky in the turret. So go ahead and take that off, and now this piece, the sort of main shell of the Prowler, is all one solid piece. Well, except for this thing, which is actually a piece used in the Hornet that black part. I can't get it off, but you can see that's a separate piece. But it's actually, all these markings are pre-painted or decaled or whatever. There's no stickers in this set, which is really nice. Those blue markings over here, the black, this sort of white writing or whatever it is the same, all printed on. And yeah, as I said, this whole thing is one big piece. It just sort of fits on to the rest of it right there on these two 2x4 bricks. Then you can see the turret itself, the inside of it. It's a whole big spinny piece. Yeah, so, and that just sets, fits right in the middle of that hole. And taking that off, oops, oh crap, one of the pieces went flying. Okay. You can see this base here is a translucent purple. There's a couple of other translucent purple things that sort of give it, I don't know, sort of an energy glow or whatever. But that's the base that it rotates on. Put that back down. Alright, and then each of these sort of tread things, I guess you could say, these supports have pegs that go through into these holes. There's two of them on each side, and then they just attach onto the sled piece. So it's actually pretty easy. Like, I had to take mine apart and put it back in the box to just to bring it home, and after I had assembled it. So that was pretty easy to do, given, take this off, take the two tread things off, and yeah, it was pretty easy to fit back into the box. So now go ahead and put all this back together, and again with this guy in the turret, it's easiest to go ahead and get his hands on the plasma turret itself and then situate it properly on there and just fit him in. And yeah, I'll take off the seat, take out his spiker, get him in place, just sort of put his arms in the right place. Alright, yeah, now I'm not gonna mess with it, but it's not too hard to get his arms in the right place. And then one last thing that I sort of have, I didn't show it before because it's not an official part. I had an extra one of these little clips, and those things are really handy because they're sort of weapon holders. So I, could put it right there, or maybe up here. I guess it looks a little bit funny up there. But I wish that, given that there's no way for him to hold a weapon when he's in this seat, and there's no way for him to hold a weapon, I wish that these designs incorporated a bit more of, some place for them to store their weapons or whatever. Not a big deal, but yeah, just something that I do the same thing on my Warthogs and everything else if I have some extra clips like that. So that's it for this one. I am going to do a couple more coming out real soon. Thanks for watching.